Nowadays, men who are still building value are totally disdained by younger, fit, beautiful women. And this is why I recommend to men that you spend your 20s and 30s building wealth, value, skills, and a network. In doing so, you'll be able to command much better female attention and have more successful, healthy offspring as a result. Hello and welcome to the heliosblog. My name is Helios. Today, we're going to talk about why women prefer older men. Many younger men wonder why they have such a lack of success with women. A large part of it has to do with age and the accumulation of resources as well as value for men. See, men are born without value, and so the closer you are to when you're born, the less value you have, and so the less you have to be appreciated for. Okay, listen till the end of this video. You do not want to miss any piece of what I'm about to say. Also, women's fundamental hypergamous nature also plays a part. Let's get into it. Fundamental female nature, how hypergamy helps older men. Hypergamy states that women want superior men. They don't want a man who's on the way up, they want a man who's already a winner. It's much more likely for an older man to be a winner than a younger one. Of course, this applies to established older men. Older men have had time to build resources, a solid personality, and a good network of men around them. Older men are usually a safer bet for women, and so they're often chosen over younger, untested men. Of course, this applies if a man has kept his edge, if he's remained physically fit, while also having accumulated lots of things. Okay, younger men in the building phase versus established older men. Who wins? Usually, young men in the building phase are not chosen, at least in 2022. This might have been the case before, maybe a generation or two ago, that women would choose a man who wasn't established, but that is no longer the case. Nowadays, men who are still building value are totally disdained by younger, fit, beautiful women. And this is why I recommend to men that you spend your 20s and 30s building wealth, value, skills, and a network. In doing so, you'll be able to command much better female attention and have more successful, healthy offspring as a result. Again, because women work on the Pareto principle, which means that 80 to 100% of women are all interested in the top 20% of men, it's much better time spent breaking into the top 20% of men as opposed to approaching women. You build yourself up so that you may then have selection ability later. Okay, let's talk about older alpha versus older beta men. Sometimes, in the modern world, older women are looking for a safety net. In fact, I would say this is very often the case. This is those women that, they've had their fun when they're younger and now they're looking to settle down and use a useful idiot, basically. So they're looking for older beta men who have money but are stupid when it comes to women, to save them from their bad decisions. Older beta men should be wary of older predatory women like this. These women will ruin you for a lifetime. And the reason is because of the way that divorce laws work. So these women can marry you and then take half of your stuff while never having cared about you in the first place. Now, older alpha men do not have this problem. And thus, a fundamental understanding of female nature is necessary to prevent you from becoming a mark later in life. You need to work on becoming a strong top man who understands female nature in order to prevent problems down the line. When a man should consider marriage, here are the minimum requirements. So, men should consider seeking serious relationships, even marriage, when they've met the following requirements. Now, here's a disclaimer. I do not recommend that you actually pursue marriage in the modern world. It's idiotic. Men in the modern Western world are absolutely disfavored in a marriage due to marriage laws, and keep in mind that 50 to 60% of marriages end in divorce, and 70 to 80% of these marriages that end are initiated by the woman. So just keep that in mind. But here are the requirements if you do want to make such a stupid decision. You must be 1. Physically fit. 2. You must be over 35 years old. 3. You must have had more than 50 sexual partners. 4. You must be making $100,000 a year, $10,000 a month or so, American. 5. You must have $50,000 American dollars in savings or so. These requirements will allow you to live comfortably and not have to worry about women's hypergamy as much. Of course, hypergamy is constant, but what I'm saying is this will help you to mitigate some of the effects. Most women will be totally unable to find a man who can replace you if you have all of those traits that I just said. And so, you should be able to have the selection ability and choose a good woman relatively easily. And this is because many women will be competing for you when you have those traits. Now again, due to marriage laws being how they are and the way that the world currently works, I wouldn't recommend that you actually get married, but in any case, those are the things that you need. Conclusion. As you can see, older men have a distinct advantage as compared to younger men on the sexual marketplace, especially when it comes to serious relationships. You should not despair, therefore, if you're a younger man at your lack of ability to land the most attractive women. Instead, you should practice your skills and build your wealth so that you may aspire to the highest quality mates in the future. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please remember to do all of the following. Like the video for the algorithm. Comment on the video. I respond to all comments and I'll give you a heart. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can see my content on your feed. Check out all of my content on other platforms. It spreads the reach of the channel. YouTube, bit.ly/Helios YouTube. Rumble, bit.ly/Helios Rumble. My blog is realheliosblog.com. My podcast, bit.ly/Helios podcast. My Patreon, patreon.com/theheliosblog. You can also support the show at bit.ly/Helios donations and buy my books at bit.ly/Helios books. Thank you so much for all of your support.